I'm back again after a few minutes to give you some more about my sister because I think it's very when people triangulate, you know, triangulation. When they triangulate, they do a lot of weird shit. Okay, so one of the things that I know that has been said about me a lot is how I wouldn't like amount to anything or I wasn't very smart. Um, and I don't know who was saying that, but I know it was said because sometimes I do absent-minded things. And I had like one cousin that was like really harsh with her words and shit, and like she'd always call me stupid, like just how you're just so stupid, or like they would like sub me about eating turkey. You eat turkey, you don't even lose no weight. The fuck, like shit like that. So I think I'm dumb, right? So here's how triangulation works because one, everybody knows I graduated from high school early. I graduated a year early from high school. All I did was just take my English course in the summer, so that way when I went in my last year, I had everything that I needed. Um, but the the academic pressure was just insane. Okay, I had this pressure to be I wasn't an A student, but I would get in trouble for like C's and D's. I got a D in chemistry. It's not anything I was ever going to learn. I got a C in algebra 2. Everything else was A's and B's, but I got grounded for these C's and D's, right? But those were the only C's and D's in my record is in chemistry and in algebra 2. I didn't do, I had a C in geometry as well, but I think I just love my math teachers, but I ended with like a B. It was like a very low B though. Um, every time I got a bad grade, so geometry was 10th grade, and chemistry was I think 11th grade, or my final year, my senior year was 11th grade, right? So I had a D in chemistry and I had a C in geometry, and I had so 2 years in a row because that went on like that for a while. 2 years in a row, I was like grounded because of this. Not I was grounded for other things too. Like as soon as I would get ungrounded, I would get grounded for something else. So I would get grounded for these C's and D's, which were only in two classes that I definitely wasn't gonna get. I'm not. Psychology is in the realm of science, but I'm not a scientist. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, that periodic table is lost on me. Okay. Hi. And so I was getting grounded for that, and my sisters, on the other hand, they had like not good grades, right? They would get their C's, they would get their D's, and nothing would happen to them. One of them had to go to summer. Look, I'm going to summer school to advance. They're going to summer school to make up. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing two different things, and they would never get in trouble for it, ever. And um, my mother would essentially say that they weren't as bright. And that's why they don't have as high standards. Now, ironically, her giving them that leeway is what made them successful in the long run. Her giving them that leeway, they weren't afraid to make mistakes. But again, I'm supposed to be responsible, and you're smarter than that. You're smarter than that. You're smarter than that. And drilling into me. So when I'm making the mistakes, I'm getting harsh punishments for not being not everybody's gonna be I'm not math and science uh inclined, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got me in English, A plus, you know what I'm saying? You got me over in music, A plus, all right. You got me over there in creative writing, A plus, you know what I'm saying? Gym, A plus. You throw that math at me, man. What? Oh, 1 plus 1 is 3. You you know. So it just these are the things that continue to stifle my confidence because I'm getting punished for the same things they're doing, and I'm being told it's because I'm really bright. So it's like really funny when everybody thinks I'm not bright because ironically you were deemed as not bright as well. These people play y'all. Oh, they played y'all. Like they were saying that your whole high school career. Why don't they get in trouble? She had a D. She's going to summer camp. Well, she's not that bright. You know, you are. And so now it's just funny to see how that's flipped. But that's how triangulation works. Isn't that crazy? Um, so that is some more of what you want. So the reason that they're successful is because they were allowed to fail. That does not mean that I will never be successful or anything like that. It's just that recognizing those patterns that created that low confidence to do things is that's another example. Or I think I've mentioned this before, but we'll just mention it again. Um, the not playing sports. I had to pay for my own sports, you know, but they were provided for in that way. So I understand. It's like these are the things where you try to say I'm jealous or you try to say I'm any of those things, and it could be like clear, like yeah, it's possible that she could be jealous as a child. When it turns, I'm not turning on my light, dear. I don't like light. I'm I don't let me hold up. I'm sorry. Cuz now you're distracting me and we're going to get lost in the sauce. Um when I was a child, I wasn't jealous because she conditioned me to like, well, you just are more mature than them. So you understand that there's not enough money, you know. And so they're going to play sports and you're not, right? Because she conditioned me that way, there wasn't any jealousy. There was more of a, yeah, I'm doing this. It was like a sacrificial thing. You know what I'm saying? Like she turned it into me making a sacrifice in order to save their feelings and things like that. So that's where that lack of jealousy comes from because she made me a martyr. You know what I'm saying? Like, since you understand, then you don't need, you know, you're not going to get what you need to enrich yourself. And you're going to be proud about it because it's actually really a good thing to be mature and not worry about these childish things. You know what I'm saying? that's how she that's how she programmed me, and that's why I don't have any jealousy about some of the things that you did. I just feel neglected. Like, I don't care that you got that stuff, just where's mine? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool, you got it too, okay. Well, I didn't get to do anything. I didn't get to play any sports. I didn't get to make any friendships. I didn't get to do anything but pick you up from practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick you up for the game, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I got to do. And then when I finally did play sports, I paid it for myself. But excuse me, if you want the psychology of why I'm not jealous of my sisters, it's because I was always like given this role of being like making a sacrifice and being the bigger person. And so and didn't set with me negatively like they always get to do everything. It's just like, when's it my turn? Like, you know, hopefully they have enough money for me this time. You know, that was more of the mindset than it was like, that's not fair. Just, I hope they have money for me now. This shit is so sad because it's just really sad how disgusting the whole process is of doing this, and like how truly evil you have to be to like do that. I'm sorry. It's just, I can't even form words as I'm thinking on it deeper. So that's some more of that. Excuse me. Oh, and in terms of the last message, right? The last message I speak quick. Sometimes I really prefer to write. I prefer to write just not because I can't communicate clearly or anything like that. I'm very scatterbrained. So many things are just dropping into my brain at one time. Um, I was saying there's more to the spiritual messages than just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Because I could watch anything that says don't give up. Um, what I enjoy, what I have found to enjoy about tarot, um, and each person's gift, because every person has like a different gift or a different frequency. Like we're all on the same frequency, but pulling different parts of it, different aspects. And so there are some people that drop knowledge, and there's nothing more fun than looking up that knowledge. It gives me something to do. You know what I'm saying? Or like, what's kept me watching them is what I thought to be spiritual psychosis, but I don't. Maybe it's not, because I'll watch one and then randomly like come up on an angel number that has like some more stuff to think about on it, right? Stuff like that. It happens so much. I thought I was like, are you looking for this shit? Is this like, no, it really is a thing. It really is a thing. I could say something. I'll be talking to Aaron. I would tell him like, this is why we're doing this. We're supposed to do X, Y, and Z. We're supposed to show the A, B, and C, right? And then an angel number, like we'll look up, or there's an angel number, and it'll like confirm everything I just said. I thought maybe I was going crazy because it just happened so much. It's like, no, no way. No fucking way. But it really is. And so when I watch readings and stuff, this stuff happens. And that is not anything I'm ever going to get listening to like a support group for therapy. Do I think that something beneficial could come from it? Yes. And now we can get deeper into this. So I have brought up these incidents with Aaron, um, to my therapist so far. We have, his therapist to speak to, but we started with myself, and Aaron in the room with us to to work it out. Okay. So I described these things. I allowed Aaron to pitch in what he remembers and things like that. And she told me that at this time, she's not going to contact anyone about it, because this is why she wants me to do the support group, because it's actually very normal considering the circumstance. Not just and she's aware of what I'm saying in terms of the gang stalking. Um, like I don't hide that. It's just that uh, I don't tell every therapist. So since I've been here in Newark, I had one. I was seeing someone in the domestic violence shelter. Um, then I went to the new place. That therapist left, and I had to wait on the wait list. I was on two different wait lists, so nobody could say that I wasn't trying to get in somewhere. I was on two different wait lists. And then, so I told the person I was seeing in limbo, the person that I was seeing in between that left. I didn't like her vibe for real, but I didn't really have much choice. Excuse me. Uh, that's why I say things like I don't believe that any therapist is not helpful. Um, but when she would speak to me, she would say certain things about her own life, and unfortunately, like I recognized that she still had unprocessed trauma herself, and there's nothing wrong with trying to do your job and help other people, but all of her advice was already like well received and taken and got me to the point I was at. So now I need more. This is when it comes into the coping stuff, right? Because when I talk about, excuse me, coping mechanisms and how they're just like medicine. Like I'm on metformin, I'm on 500, but if I don't lower, if for some reason my A1C went lower, then he would bump me up to 800, which he's done before, and then when I got it back down, he bumped me back down, right? Coping mechanisms are the same way, and at some point they don't do the job when the trauma is as extreme as it is. So where she was at and what she was giving me for coping was like, ma'am, I mean, if you want me to do it again, I'll do it again. But I've been doing that. I did that. Like, can we get something new? You know what I'm saying? And she wasn't really at that level. So I didn't really want to talk to her about the spiritual stuff. In fact, I mentioned something. She was talking about dreams. I don't know how we got on the topic, but she was talking about dreams, and she gave me a dream, and because of the symbolism, I already knew exactly what the dream meant. But she was like discouraging me from looking deeper into my dreams to work on it. And that's when I was like, I can't tell her about the spiritual shit, right? Now I did say something to the person that I was with in limbo, and then, as soon as I got into this one, I went ahead and started talking about it again. But like I said, when I first got here, I had expressed that there was something weird going on with that. Um, and they did not deem me, when I showed her the example, it was a guy. It was a man. I can't believe I forget his name. He had such a little catchy jingle at the beginning of his readings, and that particular reading, like I showed her my video, and then I showed her his reading, and how they were just too eerie. And here's what happened too. My son, so at the time there was a song that I was singing, and I was singing it all the time. I mean, I was playing it on repeat. And my son sends me this video of similar, I'm gonna be late, I'm gonna be late, blah, blah, blah. It matched, it wasn't the song, but it matched the context. Okay. And then the reading. So I show her these three things. This is what I show her. Look, this is weird. These three things are, it's not, you know, it's not right. Right. I told my therapist, the current therapist, and um, expressed to her what it was specifically that I was seeing that is concerning. Because this other reader that I've been talking about in the last few days, ma'am, the ma'am that I was talking to before, you're no longer, we're going back to the person I was talking about before. You had a reading that is supernatural, like all of them are, but the reason I keep watching you is because you talked about an experience that I had that there's no way nobody knows. Nobody knows. Happens to me at night. And if the first time it happened, I thought I was seeing things. I didn't see a demon or anything. What happened is somebody pat my butt. Pat my butt like I was a little baby. You know how like when you're holding your baby and you pat their butt like that? That's what happened, and I could literally see the imprint on my bed, like where they were touching me, and the cat was going off. Oh my god, it was really creepy because at first, uh, like I had I kind of like rolled over, and I thought I felt it, and I'm like, oh my god, and my heart kind of And then I realized the cat was meow 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 meow. You hear him do that shit, but he doesn't do that at night. He's really good at night. He does that in the morning. But anyway, this is like 2:42. It's like somebody pat my butt. And it kept happening, and then your reading happened, and then it never happened again. But it was, I mean, you described it exactly as it is. Just so you know. But anyways, I got so much off track. I'm just trying to find something to do. But actually, I do have something that I need to do. But that was, I just wanted to give you some more of what you want. I'm more explanation as to why I'm not jealous of you, because, you know, they they program me to martyr and to be proud. Like, they program me to be proud of sacrifice. They program me to, like, it's okay. It's okay, you know. That's funny. I just thought of my daughter, because that's right. It's okay. Oh yeah, therapy. That's what we were talking about. um so, I reported myself to her. Aaron and I made a safety plan. Um and she had expressed to me, we had spoke about, one of the things that bothered me most about all of this is that I was honest about, um, how I was treating G. And it's documented in multiple times about me texting him too much, or, we split up, he's back. Blah, blah. We did a lot of that talking, but um, being honest about how I was treating him and not being honest about Aaron, not because I didn't think that there was anything wrong, but just ask for help. I called CPS on myself twice in, I think in 2015 and again in 2017. And then when we were in this court case, I asked for intervention in 2019. Like, I asked for help. I've asked for help. So now when stuff is getting like I can't do better, and I'm showing like I'm struggling to do better, right? Now what are you going to do? Now what are you going to do to me? When I came to you for help like multiple times. Not just CBS. There's a long list of everybody that I ever contacted about this bullshit. Or that, I was in their courtroom, or, you know, there's a very long list. And at that point, it's more about rage. Like, yeah, there's shame of not talking about what's going on with Aaron. Of course, we had a lot of good, we go a decent amount of time. Only since October has it gotten like really bad, and it's more just yelling. I yell a lot. I had like 1 week I yelled every morning, and there was one time I yelled so bad, like, I thought about him all day. I actually considered going to school because I just knew that it wasn't a good day for him, you know. Um, we do repair. Like, when she asked me, how we handle these things, and we do repair. So when some of these things that are happening, the odd part about it is, even though I'm not behaving well, like, there's a lot of, they recognize the level of self-awareness that I have about it. I think that's why there's some leniency here. But essentially, she wants me to join the support group to help me get out of the feelings I feel about it. like when I go to the doctor and they always have to give me a depression check. And like the one thing that I feel on a consistent basis is that I'll let my family down. It's like the number one thing that drives my negative emotions. I would like to do more, but I struggle to. You know, sorry for the tears, but that one's just a real one. I get done what I need to get done, not what I want. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit. And that gets frustrating. Uh, because if I could do more of what I want, I would be a little bit better of a parent. I don't think I'm a bad parent though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I'm a bad parent. I think I'd be a better parent. Um, that's kind of how I feel about it. But because I know that, it always makes me feel bad. Like, I'm letting this boy down. Every time I yell at him, I'm letting this boy down. Because what I wanted, what I intended, was to be seen in a completely different light from his other parent. But ultimately, in some ways, not all, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm yelling. I'll do some weird shit like tap him in the head or something, and then he hit his head on something, and then, oh God, it wasn't supposed to be all that, but now it is. And now you're scared, you know, and I never wanted him to be scared, ever. And I understand what it's like, so, you know, we'll sit and we'll talk about it and express, you know, his fear. He's been very vocal expressing his fear, which is what made me put him back in therapy, um, because his fear motivates how he moves and how he behaves. You know, he's not a bad child at all. Like, not even the slightest. He's a normal ass fucking kid. He's very normal. He's actually very popular, which is weird. It is weird to be the parent of a popular child. I never thought that I would live it. I would assume that Natanya's dad is living that because I think she's also pretty popular. Jeremiah, I wouldn't say that he's popular. He's known. He's been known to be bullied, but he's also had like a good group of friends around him. And but I can't, you know, he's been bullied by a teacher before, so that's a complete different reality from what Natanya or Aaron is living. You know what I'm saying? Aaron is, we were just out and got stopped by a teacher that I myself have never met, you know, and he's just poor. And in fact, I think he's like a special needs teacher, but he's very aware of Aaron and who Aaron, hey, Aaron, you know, he's a very popular child. It's like, it's just like a, I don't know. It's hard to express. Like, I am excited for him. I think I've mentioned this before too, because Aaron's dad like would call me and ask what's wrong with Aaron. Why is Aaron? Everybody's always giving Aaron money, and it's true. Like he really does get a lot. Like he just he's on easy mode. Like he be out and people just buy him anything, give him gifts. He's like little baby Jesus, you know, coming far and wide to give him some gifts, you know. And so it's like, uh, I don't know, like there, I'm proud of it, but it's just like I can't put it into words because I never thought that I would be that parent, you know. I didn't think that my children were like bad or anything like that. It's just, you know, I don't know. It's hard to describe this feeling. Because, you know, I'm proud of him and everything. That's not it. It's just like being a celebrity mom or something. I don't know. I don't know what celebrity moms feel, but that's kind of what I'm expressing. Like, Aaron is a pillar of the community. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Aaron. All the adults are saying, hey, Aaron. Children are saying, hey, Aaron. He's like the where's my hug guy. Like, he was an open house yesterday, just walking around, people giving him, hey, Aaron. Just Aaron. All right? Aaron. So, you know, I did mention that I was going to be speaking to my therapist about that situation. I just want people to know that has been done. That this time, you know, my therapist says it's okay. You know, his therapist may have a different opinion, and I'm fine with that. I've already, you know, spoken on it. The only reason that it wasn't really brought up is just because, and I mean in therapy, because it's been brought up and it's been said on this channel. I've been open on my channel about it. But the reason it wasn't brought up in therapy did have a lot to do more with the fear of, like, being blamed for not being able to handle what I'm going through. And I'm already, you know, it's very clear that my therapist believed me when I say that there's a group of tarot readers that were messing with me, or, you know, they very much, you know, and it's not to say believe. Therapists aren't here to believe you. They're here to work you through something. If they believe that you're lying or they believe that you're delusional, they will attack that. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to attack your delusions if you have them. So it's not anything to say that they're not in agreement or in agreement, just that they're taking my the conversation seriously. Like, if I say, hey, there's these weird links between this baby daddy and this baby daddy, and there's weird links over here between this baby daddy and a cousin, there's this weird fucking link over here, there's all this stuff, this is very weird. I get you. I'm listening. I hear that they have not prescribed any antipsychotics, which actually, that's what she has said. I'm not crazy, and antipsychotics aren't even antipsychotics. They should not be called that. They're dopamine blockers. But anyway, to lower impulsivity. But anyways, that was brought up, that was spoken about. We're working through it. We have a packet we're gonna do here shortly that was provided. There's, you know, we're doing our work. We always do. When I am assigned work, we do the work. This is no different than Leeds, because Leeds helped us when he first got back. So when I first got him back, you know, he had a lot of outbursts. He had a lot of emotional dysregulation. So I have seen him get dysregulated, but it's not frequent. It's kind of like when he gets, you know, children get overstimulated. So I've never seen anything that's abnormal since we learned how to get him to do coping skills. It's very rare. He's doing well in school. He's like 99th percentile for reading. I think he's 75th percentile, some around there. Actually, he might actually be very much lower for math, now that I think about it. I think he might be lower for math, but he's good at math. Like, he's not, I think he's just average. There was something, though. There was something I had, like, a kind of low score, like 44. But whatever it was, I was assured that he's fine and he's on track type stuff. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have... He's a perfectionist like his mother, but that's just because that's part of the the fear of getting in trouble type shit. That's what I said when I meant. That's what I meant when I said this is kind of what we're dealing with. I don't have the expectation of him to be better than me in any way or more responsible than he should be at 7 years old. However, because he gets in trouble, like when I have like that hairline trigger of, and I think I wanted to elaborate on this before, and we're gonna elaborate on it now because um, a lot after being affirmed, understood, and given grace by my therapist, and being told that a lot of women go through this, I have now decided that we're about to make, we're about to speak on it a little bit more, uh, so that other people that are experiencing this can release their shame about it and not hide it and be a little more honest. Because if she's telling me, hey, what you're experiencing is actually very normal in terms of getting aggressive with your child. And I mean, um, I choked him once. And I told her this. He was screaming. And I couldn't, like, he's screaming. And I'm, what the fuck? Just stop, stop. Like, rationally, I am aware that's not appropriate behavior. You know what I'm saying? Triggered and unable to like find a solution quick enough. We repaired, we repaired, we repaired. But he doesn't, other than trying to make sure that he doesn't think that he has to be perfect. Look, I'm trying to make sure that he doesn't think, like, we'll go back and we'll discuss what happens. I wanted to get into what those specific triggers are that are causing this. So it's specific to when he ever affects my finances, because, he's had times where he's taken one of the devices at night and ordered stuff. Um, and it was like our last $20 or something. And of course, I got the money right back. Um, or there was there's multiple with food. It's specific to needs. Like, it's not always stupid shit. It's like, well, it is stupid shit. He's a kid. He's going to eat the food. It's just that I didn't get any. It's specific to, it's not just when he takes food. It's when he takes it and it's mine. And it's like, how could you be so inconsiderate? And it's not him. It's not him. I'm reacting to all those people that, one of the stories I told her, because this like being left out stuff that I've been complaining about, this stuff has been happening since I was a child. The first thing that I ever remember, okay, I had to have been really young. Okay, we had like a family gathering. We were in some kind of van. There's like some kind of, it was like one of them big vans, like church vans, where like a whole bunch of people can be in it. We were with the family, and they went to, I can't remember, I think it was like a Baskin Robbins, but there used to be another, I think it was like, dang, what was the name? There was another ice cream shop that was a rival, and we went there. And it's like all these people in my family, extended family, the cousins I speak of on this channel, they were there. And everybody's asking what kind of ice cream and everything like that. And they get their ice cream. I had to sit in the car. I couldn't go in. And when everybody gets back, I'm the only one. The only one. I had to have been like 3 or 4 years old. This is how far back this stuff started, right? I had to be like 3 or 4 years old. I was the only one without ice cream. Right? And so when you get into these patterns of always being left out, okay, we started the video with why I was programmed to martyr myself and sacrifice, right? And I'm already sacrificing quite a bit. I wouldn't say sacrificing, actually. I believe that as long as you're living right, parenting isn't really sacrifice, it's more of just responsibility. If we always equate parenting to consequences, then the parenting experience is far more negative, because you think you're always sacrificing, you're always giving up stuff instead of just being responsible, right? I have a lot of negative connotation to Aaron sometimes, no fault of his own. Okay, when Aaron's dad left me, he left me and said that Aaron was my punishment. Like, he intentionally created a trigger around our child. Like, every time something bad happens or anything like that, there's definitely a moment of this motherfucker just fucking, not the child, but the thought of, this is exactly what he wanted me to feel. This is exactly what he wanted me to feel. Is specific to Aaron. Since I was being a hoe, he left me with a child on purpose as punishment. And so when certain things go wrong, like you eat half a fucking pizza and I ask you about it and you say you thought it was all for you, how could you not think of me? Nobody ever thinks of me. And, when we repair and things like that, the reminding him that, oh, you do have to think of me, but you're not responsible for me, like trying to break that down and separate that for him has become like a thing that I have to constantly like kind of drill into him, like, hey, you can't eat all the pizza because there are 2 people in here. You should never look at something and think that's all for me, because it's 2 of us in here. But specifically what the trigger has to do with the hardships and the punishment that I'm receiving. So actually what's happening is that I'm my she explained it to me, and explaining it to you is getting kind of hard. But essentially, like, he made Aaron a trigger to those neglect. Like, every time I'm neglected, if he has created that moment of neglect, I react as if I was like that 3-year-old girl in the car that never got her fucking ice cream, because it's just been so long. It's been going on so long where people can try to neglect me. And he's just a kid, though, and I do understand that. So that was a long video for no reason. I kept going in and out because, like I said, writing it down. I have the laptop, but I've gotten so used to just getting on here and saying anything now that I haven't gotten back into getting on the laptop. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody has a good day. I don't have anything else to say. I actually just realized it's almost 6, so it's dinner time, and my daughter's gonna call here soon. So have a good day.